On today's show, we talk about medicine journeys. We talk about learning unconditional love through having a child. But we start off the show with me responding to some close to hateful comments that we got on our YouTube channel. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Hello, welcome everybody. I am so glad you're here.
This is another half hour of us eavesdropping on the very personal communication between the spirit world and souls on their journey. That's why we focus on dreams. If you want to know what you're meant to be doing at this very moment in life, right now, then look no further than your dreams. Through analyzing your dreams, I reveal your potential and the obstacles you need to overcome. I'm very specific. I tell you the superpowers that you have or that you might have if you listen to your dreams, what would really make you magnificent, and the bumps in life that are holding you back. But these bumps are not in the way. They are the way. To get your dream analyzed on our show, go to dream-analysis.com/podcast and fill in the form there, or simply email radioshow@dream-analysis.com. And we have somebody new answering all the dreams. We made changes to that because we just got so many. When we said April was going to start responding them to all of them, we got so many extra dreams we couldn't keep up. So now we have somebody doing that full time, and she is keeping up, and that's great. And we've had her doing that now for a couple of weeks, so that's really good. But all right. So did you know that providing a free service really ticks some people off? Our free show really gets under some people's skin. Now, to be fair, we do get a lot of very positive comments and praise, but I thought it would be funny just to showcase a couple of the borderline hate we get on comments on our show. Sandy, what's the first one?
I find this very interesting. God speaks to me in dreams. Dream interpretation belongs to God, not us. That's an interesting one. What do you have to say about that, Michael?
I say, yes, he does speak to you in dreams, but somehow you think it is not meant to be understood by anybody else, just you and your giant brain. Well, I'm pretty sure that in your dreams, God is telling you that you're closed-minded and that you're talking out your, can we say that word? We probably can't say that word on the show.
No, you can't say that word. No.
But wait a second. You specifically say dream interpretation does not belong to us. So you are including yourself in the us. So only God can interpret the dream he sent you. Now, why on earth would God need to interpret a dream? He already knows the meaning of the dream he just sent you. But your statement says you cannot interpret it because interpretation belongs to God. Well, I believe one thing: you cannot interpret dreams. If you could, you wouldn't say something so ignorant. Sandy, what else have we got?
That was definitely a little punchy there, Michael, but I like how you got to the point. Alrighty, here is in response to a segment that was describing what teeth falling out means. You ready? Hold on tight.
I am.
We are not animals. We do not come from animals. We are created by God in his image, period. What is wrong with this world? It's gone insane. Oh my God, Michael, you're going to have fun with this one.
Yes, because your full argument is the word period. You make a statement and then say period. That's it. Debate over. You even spelled out period, showing how much thought and focus you put into it. Well, I wondered if I could refute such a convincing argument, but thank God I found this beautiful explanation by Melanie Challenger. We're composed of cells with genetic material, and we move around seeking energy to feed our bodies, pooping it out again as waste. We look a lot like our fellow primates with our 5-digit hands and feet, our thoughtful eyes, and our lean, muscular physiques. We have lungs, a heart, a brain, a nervous system, and all those other features we share with mammals. And she goes on, but I'll stop there. That Melanie, she might have a point, you know. I mean, yeah, she resorted to facts and logic, but even with that, I still think your argument is more convincing than yours. Period.
All righty, Michael. That was funny. The following true dreams were from someone who is researching medicine journeys with the goal of being able to take people on journeys without medicine. I like that. That's going to be really cool to see where that goes. So the title of this one is Astronaut Training Program, and it's a single sentence. I know you love those type of dreams. I am in an astronaut training program. That's it. What can you get out of that one?
Yeah. Well, so obviously you have to channel on these when you get something like that and it's so short. But I knew, like she gave 3 dreams actually to the show, and all 3 of them were all about what she's going to be doing in the future, helping people on journeys without medicine, which I think is great. And the reason for doing it without medicine, of course, is because in a lot of states, medicine journeys are illegal. That's changing. It's changing dramatically. But still, that's what she's researching. So when I channeled on this, obviously, you can see the analogy, an astronaut training program. But is it her raising her vibration, her going into the heavens, or is it her taking other people? And when I channeled on it, they said that she is in training to take people into the highest vibration, which is what going into the heavens really represents in a dream. It's such a high vibration, you're away from the earth plane. And that's what medicine journeys do for people. So, what's also interesting, when somebody's doing something like this, they have the issue of, I'm training in something that is allowed in some states and is super, super beneficial. Like medicine journeys, when done properly, they help people with PTSD. They help people with severe depression. For people who have terminal illnesses, there's treatments that include psychedelics that really help them make sense of the end of their life and head into that chapter without fear. But you have to live in certain states for that to be legal. And like I said, it is changing. But it's still, because it's illegal and has been illegal since whenever they made it illegal after the 60s, which I missed, people grapple then with, is this something I should be doing? And so on and so on. And so she's kind of grappling with that. So it's good to see a dream that is endorsing something that is her passion, let's say, to train in this, not just to do it, but to train and understand it and get it to the point where it's accessible to people who don't want to take medicines. Like, that's quite an astounding thing to do.
Yeah, I fully agree. That's amazing. All righty. The next dream is titled Being Zapped into a Meditative State Pre-Journey. Interesting title. I was standing in my bedroom near my bed. Sophie, my medicine journey facilitator, appeared with a tall, slim, foreign Arab looking. I was delighted to see her. She asked if I was ready for my journey and if planned to take the same dose of medicine. I didn't realize I was scheduled to journey with her that day, but was pleasantly surprised. I turned my head towards the man that accompanied her. I was startled to see him pointing directly at my third eye. Long arm outstretched, his index finger inches from my face. The odd thing was that I only saw the circle of his fingertip, as the rest of his body was floating and all lined up in a straight, horizontal, impossibly narrow line behind his finger. I instantly became physically disoriented, no longer seeing through my eyes, and slowly bumbling around in a circular spiral-like pattern, trying to get my bearings as I lowered to the floor. It was like being in a meditative state, but the woozy, disoriented state that preceded the nice, warm state in a meditation. Well, that's an interesting journey. What do you
Journey
make out
or
of
dream?
that, Mike? Dream.
Was that a Freudian slip, Sandy?
Yes.
So she says this required a lot of channeling, and this is something I love doing with clients. Looking at the dream, explaining what the dream is about, and then saying, what's behind that dream? Why did this foreign Arab-looking character show up? Why did that man show up? And of course, we say this on the show all the time. We don't always talk about past lives, but one of the ways to tell that the dream is talking about a past life is to have a foreign person in the dream, or you be in a foreign country, or speak in a language that you don't currently speak. And so this foreign Arab-looking guy, he fits that bill. And when I challenged on it, I was told that this man was her in an Egyptian lifetime, that the Egyptians have a lot of slaves and that included Arab slaves. So this Arab character was somebody that they had taken, but he was trained in controlling energetic spaces for rituals being done in. I could see the whole thing when they were showing it to me. What was also interesting about this, Sandy, was they didn't say it was Egyptian times that we are familiar with, with the pharaohs and so on. It was before that. So they're saying that it's way, way back, like at the height of, let's say, a different period of the Egyptian civilization. And so this guy was able to control the energetic space for rituals being done on a platform that was lower than him. He's sitting in this chair up many, many steps with his eyes open in a very calm way, but eyes always open, never blinking, and looking at what's going on below and controlling the energy of that space as some other people are facilitating a journey being done. So he's in this very relaxed state. And he also was able to build a multi-dimensional cube container. And of course, all cubes are multi-dimensional. They have 3 dimensions for a start. But it was beyond the 3 dimensions. And I could see that. And I was even able to look up, like, what does a 4-dimensional or multi-dimensional cube look like projected into 3 dimensions? And it was exactly what they showed me. So he's controlling beyond this space. So he could commune with spirits and energy in that space. And he could ask the spirits to do things that were needed, watching how all the interactions were happening, and just basically make sure everything went according to plan. And the other thing that was interesting is in this dream, we see he points a finger and reorients her. Like she is physically disoriented, she says, and spirals around and comes down to the floor. And what they showed was, again, in this time, he would activate 3 of a person's chakras. I'm not going to say which ones because I think it's probably kind of important, and I don't want to give it away. But this is the type of detail I love to get when I'm looking at somebody's dream, and it's very focused. And so 3 particular chakras are oriented with a person's light body. So this kind of cone shape spirals up from those chakras, connecting with the light body. Not that isn't always there anyway, but it really, the alignment is super important for these 3 in particular. And I shared what that was. And what it does is it allows the person who's been brought on the journey to move their consciousness into their light body. And their light body is what takes the journey, not the physical body. Now, that I found was interesting because obviously the physical body is never going to take a journey. But where does the consciousness on any kind of journey, medicine or not, where does it start from? Where do you go from? And they were saying it's the light body, the consciousness and the light body that ends up taking the journey. And what else have I got? Yeah, it's just basically saying which 3. But what they said to her at the end of it was that she needs to do a meditation to merge with this character, or even do a journey of her own to merge with this character, which I do also find interesting too. Like we come into this earth plane and we experience birth and we experience all the horrors, let's say, of childhood and frequently traumas of childhood. And then our mission here is to heal that trauma and grow through healing the trauma. But we also have other missions, and we don't take every aspect with us. Or sometimes we might take it and it's asleep and we wake it up at a later time because there's no need for that aspect of us to go through any traumatic experience in this lifetime. And so she was told in this analysis that she's to do a journey and merge with this particular aspect and embody it. Like rather than creating a connection with it, embody it, hook it into her DNA in a way, so that she doesn't even need to channel to be able to access this information. So really intriguing to see it. And also a huge endorsement for what her plans are, of course, because she spent a long time. She's already spent a couple of years researching this at great expense to say, okay, how can this be done? And that she's bringing people on journeys all the time herself to say, okay, this is my goal. I want to see if we can plan a journey and we can have this particular outcome. And then she does it and gets the outcome, or maybe gets close to the outcome, and then channels with the beings that are on the other side of a journey. And she's already got all that information too. So really fascinating to see her dreams giving her more and more and more information all the time about how she's actually going to do this. Clearly, it's what she's meant to do, or you can't have a dream like this. You would not get the support from the spirit world if this is not already something that was part of your mission before you ever came to the planet.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And it's really cool that it shows up quite strong in these two dreams.
Absolutely.
All righty. My future Pinnacle Flower Company. I was gifted some flowers to start a flower company. They came in a large cardboard box with a flower design. I was thinking of what the company name was meant to be, and I strongly got the name Pinnacle. The letters were written in an elongated font, and I think the I was a tall, skinny mountain. The name was important, and I repeated it to myself. All righty, what one is this?
So this is a lovely dream. She's gifted flowers to start a flower company. Flowers are a symbol of love, universal symbol of love. And they came in a large cardboard box. Boxes in dreams are about the womb. And so flowers coming in a cardboard box, in a large cardboard box, are about receiving love through having a child. And that's ultimately what it is. We know it's a child because, like, she's talking about company. I'm going to have a company, or there's a company involved. Think of it this way. Instead of like a business, it's if you phone somebody and say, hey, I was thinking of coming over, but do you have company? That's the type of company it's talking about, that she's going to have company for the rest of her life. This beautiful child's going to come in and show her what unconditional love means. It's a really beautiful dream. And then another thing we get from it is the elongated font, and the eye was a tall, skinny mountain. And so we've covered this many times in other dreams. Mountains typically represent somebody who has a very high vibration. Like everything in a dream is you. So a mountain says that I stretch from the normal level on the earth plane to a very, very high level. I stretch up into the sky. And tall things in a dream typically are about guides or angels or whatever. So we know that the child coming into her is also a super high level being, which is really cool, really cool. Learn about unconditional love through having the company of a child for the rest of your life. Obviously not going to be a child all the time, but it's still, that's somebody who's going to show you and teach you what unconditional love is.
Wow, that's amazing. That is really beautiful. And the name Pinnacle, I find that interesting. Isn't Pinnacle like the peak or the top of something?
Yeah, absolutely. So I doubt if she's going to call her son Pinnacle. but it's I like that it implies that if you look at your life journey, this is going to be the part you look back and say, that was the best part. Having this child was the best part of my life.
Wow, I love that. That's beautiful. All righty, let's move on. Taking an advanced dream class, and this is from Rose. I was walking and I saw Jenny saying she is taking an advanced dream interpretation class. She wanted to learn more. She was talking to two guys. I thought she was already really good, and maybe I could take an advanced class too. Oh, I like this one, Michael.
Yeah. Except Jeannie has never taken a dream interpretation class. She does channel, but so we have the dreamer who is a graduate from our program, knows how to interpret dreams, is really good at it. And she's looking at somebody else who doesn't know how to interpret dreams or has a rudimentary understanding. I changed the name, so it's not Jeannie. But somebody who does have a good idea, because I've interpreted so many of her dreams too. And she's looking at this other person and going, oh, she's already really good and she's doing an advanced class. Maybe I should do an advanced class and catch up with her. And when I channeled on that, it was a bit of a put down. They said that the dreamer changes her viewpoint based on the conviction with which less experienced people say things to her. And she's like, oh yeah, okay, I do that. That's true, I do. So they said, okay, you can take an advanced class when it comes up, but you need to start collating where you're getting information from so that you can then validate it. Mainly because she has knowledge, she has expertise that she is putting in second place when it comes to people who don't have her level of expertise. Does that make sense? Did I explain it well?
Yeah, it does. And the two guys is the channeling part?
So it's talking about the skill set of dream interpretation and channeling, but saying, look, don't put other people's information or what they get ahead of what you get. You're the one with the skill, and start, like I said, looking at the sources of information, where you're getting it from, so that you can weight it, because she instinctively has something wrong with how she weights it. If somebody says something very convincingly, then she goes, oh, that has to be true, when it isn't.
Yeah, that's a lesson people have to learn, to trust themselves. That's part of learning and doing this journey.
No, are the commenters that we had at the start of the show, they didn't need to learn anything to talk so convincingly.
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, moving on. Next one, extending our checkout. And this is from Liz, and I like the title. We were with a small group, 3 to 5 people, and we were all with Michael Sheridan at a beach area, and we were doing something with energy. We were practicing for the next morning. And then we all squeezed in through a window into our room. We were planning on doing the energy thing in the morning, and originally it was the next morning we were planning to leave. But because of this project, we needed to get a late checkout. So we were trying to figure out how much more time we needed and how long to extend our checkout. I knew we'd get there, just needed to figure out how much time I needed to ask for. I was thinking we'd extend until 1 or 3 p.m. I thought the different times in my head from noon to 3, trying to figure out what was best.
So,
So, Michael,
yeah,
this is an interesting one.
you can probably guess what it is about. The dreamer has the ability to extend people's lives. Now, before you think, hey, that's nuts, nobody can do that. Well, that's what a doctor would do, right? So it's like, yeah, people can do this. And it's nothing against the spirit world. Like it's totally in alignment with what people can do. So she has the ability to extend other people's lives. This gift, when I channeled on it, it's not fully in yet, but she does it through the platform of their life rather than directly within them. And so the message that they gave was, if somebody asks for more karma, so like if you finish with everything you're meant to do in your life, you can actually ask your higher self to organize something new that you can do on the planet that will be beneficial for you. And it's always a much easier task. Well, in terms of, it's never going to be vastly different from what you've done before. You might have to go deeper into some areas and so on, but it's something you're going to enjoy. Let's put it that way. It's not like, here's a horrible life lesson for you that we just dreamed up for you. No. So it's saying that it's done through the platform of how life already is planned. And she's able to work with the karmic system in order to extend people's lives. Quite an interesting little dream.
Yeah, okay, so we have small group of 3 to 5 people.
Yeah, so she's a leader. I'm also like they're coming in through the window, because I know that's going to be your next thing. So this is a gift
You got it.
she brought in at birth. And then she's doing this energy thing on the beach. So it's a spiritual approach connected with energy. The karmic system is an energetic system. All systems are energetic systems. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's like, okay, we decided to do this thing now, and in order to do it, we need to be here longer. And that's really what it represents. And staying longer in a hotel is a classic symbol for extending your life.
That's cool. All right. What are you, Michael Sheridan, doing in this dream?
I'm in everybody's dreams. So I'm going to represent, like, say, a spiritual knowledge or whatever I am to that person. So for her, I do a lot of channeling. I do a lot of dream interpretation and explaining things to her about abilities that she has, like this. So it would represent her having that awareness within herself for other people.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got a 1 or a 3, and then between noon and 3.
The karmic system is always measured in time. Like if you are late for things. That's a classic karmic symbol, looking at the clock, classic karmic symbol. So that's basically the platform that she's going to be working with.
Very interesting. That's an amazing gift, if you ask me. That's kind of cool. Well, Michael, you know what we forgot to talk about at the beginning of our radio show is we just started our November mentorship. And we have a great group of people that are just starting this program. I think we might have room for maybe one or two more people if people are out there interested. You could still get a hold of me and we could talk about it and kind of walk you through the program. It's really good. And then we have the spiritual dimension of dreams, which is usually how people find us. It's a $97 course. That is going to come up in December. So save the date for Thursday, December 12th to do the spiritual dimension of dream. It is a lot of fun. It's a great class. Do you have anything you want to add, Michael?
It is always interesting. We always get a few people who join the mentorship late. I really love the group of people that are in it. It's funny. It feels like they've already been together for a long time, which is very unusual. Normally it takes a while for like the energies to gel, but just this class feels so much different. I absolutely love the mentorship program. We really put a lot of thought into it in how it teaches you how to interpret dreams and how to channel. And not just that, it changes your life.
Yeah, everybody that's done it. It is so interesting for me. And I always say this when I meet with people. The very first day, you kind of look at everybody on Zoom and it's like, oh, they look great. Really, cool people. It's going to be fun. And at the end, it's like, wow, the energy around them, their faces change. It's mind blowing. And even people that continue on after they're done and come back, they still look vibrant and happy. And it's like just huge, huge changes in their life. That's why I do this, because I want people to have this ability and I want their lives to only get better.
All right. And the link to book Sandy will be under this show, wherever you're watching it or listening to it. But that's our show for this week. We will see you next week.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.